this down, please?
And he's going on and on. You don't know what we've done. We've been building you this Mercedes.
Oh my God. Innocent people are being screwed.
I am going to take you to court, but I'm going to finish this house with my own money, and then I'm going to take you to court.
Everything's garbage here.
Let's take it down. I've never, ever seen a job so bad in my life.
You're being sued for $343,000.
I'm going to rip the frickin' house down. That's what I'm going to do.
It's a hole in the ground. Right? I own a hole in the ground.
Nice. Awesome. But if you're going to do it right the first time. Take it down. All of this whole area, even the top.
This place has been so butchered.
Innocent people are being screwed. Unbelievable. On the money.
2, 3.
Perfect.
Let's do that again. You had us at the front.
More? Yeah.
So far, so good.
Imagine owning a home and wanting to do an addition, hiring a contractor, going through all the procedures, permits, everything necessary. And your world changes almost overnight.
I moved into that little house on my own with my mom almost 14 years ago now. It was 1 bathroom and 3 bedrooms, a small kitchen, a small living dining room. It was nice though. We'd finished it up. I'd painted, done my fancy paint job in the living room with the sponging. In 1997, Joe and I got married. When Joe moved in, it was still quite comfortable. When we had Juliana, we started to think about more space.
Hired a contractor, worked with them on the home, actually friend of the family.
And initially, I thought things were going pretty good. He digging out the garage, and then he had a crew in to do the foundation.
$200,000 contract. It's not done, and they've been out of their house almost 2 years.
By the beginning of February, on February 2nd, he has a check dated for $25,000. At that point of a $200,000 contract, he had 150 grand.
Things really start going upside down after the bank puts a stop. $150,000 out, no more, because they did come in and take a look to see how much is being done.
You tell your bank that, warn them that, well, I'll just go and put a lien on it, even then, in February. And they can't be holding your money. It's my money. They're holding us hostage. I said, no, it's their money.
They came up with the rest of the money to give him $219 by borrowing, grabbing, almost stealing from anyone they could to get to this stage.
And then he's going on and on. I'm going to use my money, and you don't know what we've done. We've been building you this Mercedes.
It's taking longer. He's not making money. He's needing more money. They don't have more money.
I am going to take you to court, but I'm going to finish this house with my own money, and then I'm going to take you to court. And I said, if you're going to take me to court, you might as well take me to court now.
Everything started to fall apart.
And the courier hands me this document, and I open it up, and it's the lien, and it says, you're being sued for $543,000, of which it's now down to $343 because I guess he was counting out the 200 that he had.
It's a right that allows them to register a claim against the property they worked on as security for the amount that they're owed.
How do you lien a home for that kind of money with a $200,000 contract? And here highlighted is the reason. The plaintiff pleads and relies upon the doctrine of unjust enrichment. In other words, what he's saying is that he's enriched the value of this home way above and beyond the $200,000 contract, so he has the legal right to lien them for $344,000 on top of the money he's already received.
The homeowner has the ability to challenge that and demonstrate that there's no way it could be that amount of money because they don't have a contract for that amount, or what the contractor did wasn't worth that amount.
Our lawyer had been saying from the start, you have to secure your case. And I'm thinking, why do I have to secure my case? He's the one that has to prove that he's done what he says he's done.
The way it works.
So I said, fine. She said, well, let's see if we can get an engineer's report, and we'll see what we need to do next.
And there's nothing under the floor joists? Nothing, okay? Absolutely nothing but this. The footings we want to see twice the width of the wall. That way we have an equal displacement on each side of it, helping bury the load of this wall. Mega problems in this one room.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know how they got away with this, because this was passed. That upsets me.
I don't know what they've done with this bench because I almost need X-ray eyes to see what they've done.
Look at the stairs. Obviously, these are all different heights and not the proper set of stairs.
They've actually supported the plate and not the beam. That should really be looked at.
Same as we saw in the kitchen. We have a steel I-beam with a plate for the brick.
Yeah.
What do we see? Now the column's on the steel I-beam and nothing on the brick. Is this on footings? What is it sitting on? Nothing. They dug that down just enough to put a little concrete on the bottom and the blocks on top to carry all that weight load all the way up. We do one thorough examination. One thorough. He comes back, he wants it opened up.
We gotta see the finishes off. That's the easiest way to tell what's going on because we can't see through walls.
Okay, we open it up. I'm really bothered by this. Now they gotta come up with more money to pay an engineer to put together a package which is probably in the area of $20,000 between lawyers, one time, between lawyers and engineer to put this together. Not to mention all us guys in here to come in and open it up and show things that are wrong. Okay, fine. Well, I bring in my whole crew. We're gonna take down all the frickin' drywall in the house. We're gonna do a thorough inspection, a cost report on what it's gonna take to fix this. Dollar after dollar after dollar continues to come out of their pocket, and they're nowhere ahead yet. Where do I see screws? Do you see any screws? Any screws whatsoever in that drywall? Any screws? One screw. Come on. Whoever the electrician was puts out a box on the outside wall and puts up vapor barrier. What don't we see? Vapor barrier. Do you see any insulation?
These are 8-footers.
Do you see any vapor barrier? Two pieces of wonderful HVAC installed in an outside corner wall with no insulation whatsoever, running up in the void, going into upstairs with no insulation whatsoever on that side. Like this is gonna hold hot air. Don't touch this. I want the engineer to see this. Look at the insulation.
They missed a cavity there?
They missed the cavity, but look at the way it's installed.
It's not proper.
There's no vapor barrier up in there. It's not even right against the outside edge. Now, I just looked in the window, and look what I see in the window. 3 building permits. Now, what good are permits, okay, when it's done this way? Look at that electrical plug right there. No clamps, no nothing, in the corner, and it's live. And I tell everybody to get a permit. I don't think it helped these people at all. Manufactured floor is heavy, dude. 3 LVLs. I love it. I mean, we're talking major structure here. We have proper 2 LVLs, proper hangers, proper. That's one good sign. At least there's one. Rock salt.
Look, you finally found the vapor barrier.
Yeah, it was on this side of the house. Take a look at everything. Just because I see TJIs on the ceiling or manufactured floor joists and 2 steel I-beams that are done incorrectly doesn't tell me that this house is good. First thing I saw was the outside, and that told me there's a whole lot of problems in here. Then I bring the engineer through. We look through the basement. What do I see? I see all kinds of crap. Improper structure, improper footings, unlevel, completely unsquare. How much money in drywall is coming down? How much money in structure is it gonna take to fix this? How much money should the homeowners put out of their pocket? I'm just stunned that this is allowed. Oh my God. Can you imagine that?
Falling on somebody?
There's no brick ties. Keep your helmets on, guys. I built you a Mercedes, he said. Right, now we're gonna open this up, and I've already seen enough wrong. We're gonna open this up, we're gonna see 1,000 more things wrong. Should he get away with this? I've built him a Mercedes, and I deserve 540 grand. Like, what did he do, pick a number out of his hat?
Walk slowly. When Juliana was 10 months old, actually, Joe had to have back surgery.
They fused it. They put these pins. Remember that first X-ray?
Yeah, the pin through the spine
They had a
area.
clamp about approximately the size of my hand with 4 pins holding it in spot, and that's what I have in my back right now.
I used to have to hold Juliana up to him so that he could hug her or
I'd put her in my
on her
lap because there was no way I could lift her.
and lift her. And when she was so little, she wanted her daddy to pick her up.
Well, that's the garage right there. Not only do we see down in the basement, I can see right outside in the garage. What do you think about exhaust fumes coming inside your house when you have kids? You hear the stories. People die.
I say that she came to us at the right time in life because she was good therapy for us. We focused our attention on her, and it helped Joe have a reason to sort of get healthier.
I'm not Hercules.
So basically, Joe hasn't worked since 2000.
Want to go try and find some structure? See if we can't find it. Right now, yeah, we've got this block, which is kind of making up the difference so you can bring your brick up above the gable. And you're supposed to always support it on steel. So these guys they brought a steel lintel in here. It looks like it's undersized. And usually you like to have it bearing on masonry if it's not too long, if the masonry can handle the load, or else you want to pick it up with steel. A half-inch piece of OSB, like oriented strand board plywood, that's what's supporting the angle.
You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, it's not holding anything.
Nothing.
You got a lot of weight load on that, too.
This angle here, see how I pick it up?
I wouldn't stand there.
Yeah, it's actually supported by this brace here. This guy is holding it up.
So that shifts. Not only would a block fall through the finished ceiling here, but you have a crack all the way. Water's coming in here, weakening everything. It could also topple out over top.
That's a really good point. I understand that. We can see daylight.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we don't have stains here on the drywall.
Lucky for now, I think. Is there what's out over there though? There might be something just covering it.
All right.
There's another funny thing over there. It's not really funny, but it's actually load-bearing walls that don't have lintels.
This is from a door. Probably one of the upside-down doors that are in the garage.
It's actually a load-bearing wall. And in front of the stairwell, there's about a 6-foot opening.
Well, that was a window. We just pulled it out.
But there's no lintel at all.
Is that normally how we frame something for a window?
No, Mike.
Oh my God.
Anyways, that's the load-bearing wall. That's where all the trusses are sitting on.
That's really nice. So let's cut in an open window, do it all wrong on a load-bearing wall.
Yeah.
I got it. Told you it wasn't screwed in. You like what you see so far?
No. No. Not at all.
Look at that wiggly thing. Look at this. This is the bathroom. This is the tub. We can see the fiberglass tub. Nothing supporting the tub on this side. Nothing supporting the tub on the back. No nailing edge for where the tiles are. Okay, no nailing edge. This is the only 2x4 they have across. Wonderful. Once we open up, we pull drywall down. What do we see? Cinder block wall, cut in, put a door in. Nothing supporting the block above it. How high does this go up? Probably have enough weight load to simply snap this and take someone's head off. We do have block above this wall, so they're holding up the block with this structure. What do? They don't have big enough pieces, so they piece the 2x4s to hold it up. Yeah, right. We have a sloped roof above us. After I take down a few things, we're gonna continue to find more and more. What do we see? Insulation is packed tight to the outside, stopping air ventilation from coming up the soffit and hitting in this area, which must be a cold zone. As I look further up this way, there's the garage right there. That wall's continue to cross, no vents in the attic whatsoever, total trapped air. This would mold in no time. It's required that the electrician puts in his plastic around the box, which he did, okay? But as the people put up the vapor barrier, they put up the vapor barrier and they put tape around this area. That's why I checked this. And as we see that, they didn't pull out the plastic to wrap it out over the plastic to create a nice air stoppage around it. Just cover it up. Here we don't have tuck tape around it. You can see they've cut the square out. We see they had the... All right, so it was faked again.
Look at this. This is what he was going to hold it on with. Once this was packed with dishes, this is what he was hoping was going to hold this in. This drywall. Some little 16 gauge finishing nails was going to hold that together. It's unbelievable.
one of the pipes burst.
And it was like Niagara Falls up here. The water was just shooting out everywhere. Whatever was here was covered in ice.
And it flooded the basement. So they were responsible. We're still going to pull the ceiling down and see what's up there, but they were responsible to pull this all down and put up new. The insulation is soaking wet. Look at the mold. As this will hold moisture because we have the tar paper in behind it, which is not breathable, what we're doing is almost a vapor barrier on the backside, a vapor barrier in the front, holding the moisture. All the drywall on this wall, the backs of the drywall was completely soaked. Look at this. Brand new ductwork, HVAC all throughout the whole house. What do? They cut in a return and drywall over it. We see rust all along the corner bead. It shows how much water actually came in here because this is rusted. Now this is old, but obviously they had pulled down, tied back in, and did some sort of plaster work to it. We see wood over top of concrete. We never want to see that. Once they had pulled the drywall, they should have pulled the strapping and made sure there was some sort of protection barrier in behind the wood. Wood does not touch concrete. Surface mold. Look at how they cut in. This was a window before.
Yeah.
So they blocked it up. They put the ductwork right on top of the concrete. Like, if this gets cold, what does it do to this?
It's gonna make that cold.
Not to mention, it shouldn't be touching concrete because why? It expands, it contracts with hot and cold air, right? No. Not to mention, I guess they like to save their plastic, okay? It's nothing that says you really can't do this. This is not 6 mil plastic, though. This is the equivalent to a 4. This is supposed to be an underpinning.
Oh.
Because he did this first, right? He dropped this area, and then he dropped the other area for the furnace. Again, no drains in the floor, but this is supposed to be underpinning.
Wow.
And I don't think this is qualified, really, for an underpinning job. It's just a continuing saga of finding crap after crap after crap. This is the floor that was dropped. This is where the furnace was. The lowest point of the floor in the house, there is no drains whatsoever. What happens if this floods? What happens if the hot water tank floods? It fills this up like crazy right into the furnace. It becomes a bathtub. Against code, may I say. You know, why do people do this? Why do they leave the old crap up when they have the ability to take it off since the studding and drywall this? No. Let's cover up all the old crap that's here. This house makes me want to swear. Yeah, save the house, my ass. Show me something that's going to surprise me. Like something done right. Then I might be surprised.
This is the worst home possible, I think. So far. Have you seen worse? This is it, eh?
Yeah. Wow, look at, they did something right, eh?
Yeah.
Put in the proper covers for the pot lights in here.
Yeah. This must have been built by someone else,
Is that
this
a
room.
chewed hole? That's a chewed hole.
Oh, you're right.
Someone's been chewing at it. Look at this.
Oh my God.
You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
It's definitely raccoon urine.
I said Matt up there?
Well, at this point, you know what? There's possible raccoons in there. I doubt it. We probably scared them out of the house and they're gone for the day. First and foremost, let's get rid of the rest of the drywall in here. Let's pull the walls down so we can see further things. Then we'll clear everything within the walls. Then we'll drop all this, okay? Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Matt! I'm a little scared. Hello? Oh, they're not up here. Hello? See this, Carlito?
Yeah.
They've been coming in through this, 'cause they didn't close the soffits up. Look, they just been digging at this to get into this attic. See, this is all open, right? The soffit he left open way too long. That's why they were getting in there. But this is what freaks me out. Look, he's got it resting on nothing but 3 pieces here.
Same as the front.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
All the cinder block, the brick that's above it, that's a heavy, heavy load that is sitting on top of what appears to be just this 2x4. See how it's peeling off?
Yeah.
As you can see, it's they even chipped out the OSB so it sits there. And you can see it shifting. See how it's cracked in the corner up there?
Yes, I do.
This is just such a...
It's a scary mess in here.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So we'll
it
just be
is.
careful with the rest and we'll get out of here.
We find even more, to the point where we have to bring in a cost consultant to actually price what it's going to cost to fix the home.
We kind of call this project intervention, where we come in when there's a problem with the project. And in this case, the contractor has done so much work and he's now walked off the site or been kicked off the site. So now there's a lien on the property. So we have to come in and assess the money spent to build what's here now, the amount of all the deficiencies that need to be corrected, and as well the cost to complete the project. So if this goes up to court, we can act as an expert witness and stand up and say our findings and what we think the actual costs are.
Well, judging on what the structural engineer's report, he's highlighted some serious problems in different areas which will require major rip out. So you've got the cost of ripping out and then the cost of rebuilding at premium because you're working with partially built structure and finishes and so forth. It's highly likely it's going to cost more. It always does cost more to do fix-up than to build it right in the first place.
So we're talking large money here. We're talking over $300,000 in the long run, he estimates, to fix the job. So this was jammed in place. Now that's a new meaning for jams, okay? Because this is what you call a jam.
Many things in one place.
Oh, this is just the beginning, my friend. Wait till I take you outside. Well, it shouldn't be that easy. This is actually supposed to be all footing 4 feet beneath the bottom area. There's none. What's happening is your actual addition is falling away from the
house.
home.
Yeah.
Did you want to buy the house?
No, thank you.
No? You sure?
Not in a million years.
Your bargain. Then the contractor wants his own engineer. So his own engineer steps in and they start taking the place apart, digging holes under footings to prove there's no footings, digging the holes under the front of the house, the back of the house. We knew there was no footings under this at all. What I love is the engineers dug down just to prove it. No, there's no footings. What we see here is a 2x8 vertically like this. Now structurally we want to see it as a beam, so at least we want to see at least 3 in there. Well, what they have is a 2x4 piled this way on top of each other and then a faceplate to put the bricks over. We can see everything starting to crack as it's starting to fall in. You see how he just poured a concrete area, put his stone on top. Even his blocks that continue this weight load right up, that's a heavy, heavy weight load. Required by code to go down at least 4 feet with the footing. No footings whatsoever, sitting right on the cinder block. Totally unacceptable. I don't see any footings down there. It's not even deep enough. It's not even 4 feet deep. Once again, holding weight load all the way up. The stone is cracking, the mortar's cracking, the brick is cracking. Not to mention, they used the wrong mortar in between the brick and in between the stone. They did it sort of ass backwards, you could say. This mortar was for the brick, this mortar was for the stone. Incorrect. You call this a footing? These guys were so thorough, they dug completely right under it just to see what was there. All he did was pour a small concrete pad here. Unacceptable. What they did was cut out the 2x8 to inspect how these were in place. 1, wood is touching concrete. 2, there's not enough in there, right? We don't see anything in there. It's sitting just on a little bit. And I could move the floor. That's not a good sign. This guy was in total belief that all his work was fine. As a matter of fact, he was so confident of it, he brought in his own engineers. What a mistake. I have never in a million years seen one home have so many problems. On every single level, this is wrong. Totally built wrong. Structure's wrong. I mean, I can't say enough wrong things about it. It is so wrong. There's no sense in trying to support any of this house, pull off all the brick, all the stone, all the new foundation, redo the foundation, re-support it, and then mess with the structure that he's done upstairs. We have to remember, if this is wrong, everything's wrong. There's no knowledge here. Where's their knowledge in carpentry? Where's their knowledge in absolute structure? Not to mention plumbing. It's coming down. Say goodbye to this place.
Hallelujah. I'm thrilled because I can't walk by this house or even think about putting a pot of water on to boil in a kitchen that has been touched by this person that just brings just everything back. It's Say bye to this house, Juliana. Bye to the house. Bye, house. Bye, house. It's taken its toll. It's going to take us a long time to recover psychologically, I think. Goodness. It's taken a strain on Joe and me.
I brought in a whole team of pros to set up scaffolding for us to be safe all the way around this house so we can start from the top. Start pulling it down brick by brick, piece by piece. So one, it's safe for us. We're gonna take our time on this. I wish I could bring in a bulldozer and just smash this house down, but I've gotta protect that house and I've gotta protect that house. Brick by brick, we're gonna pull this down.
Okay, up, clear. Up. This mortar is not the right mortar. You can actually see where he laid his mud out. He put the brick down, squished it in, and what happened was it didn't grab at all. Like, this should have been bonded. You shouldn't have been able to pull this off like this. This is only not even a year old. As you can see, I'm glad I found some brick tie. Really, I would have liked to have seen them every 3 courses, so probably some at the top too. You want to hold those brick in, but this is not the way you want to do it. You shouldn't be able to do this to a brick tie. They should be into studs, because that's what's holding your brick into the house. It's not going to hold into OSB, so basically it's not doing anything. If this wall wanted to go, those nails would have came with it, nothing would have stopped it.
No certified roofer did this job. Even if you read the package and the instructions, you could have done a better job.
No argument.
On the other side, they got a steel valley. On this side of the dormer, they've attempted to do a closed valley.
It comes down, rains in there, gets right underneath it, but I guess it's okay because there's a valley, right?
Water coming down there is going to hit them tips and travel across. It will travel right along. When it comes past the valley, it'll hit that tip, it'll travel right along, and it'll come in here. Everything's garbage here. It's all supposed to be individually screwed. That's how the manufacturer wants it. What they did here is they just put up the soffit, put up the fascia, nailed the crap out of the fascia, but if you pull this away, it all falls out. The guttering is not seamless. It's all joined in 10-foot lengths, but they didn't bother to caulk it. There's no caulking on any of the seams. There's no caulking on any of the end caps. There is no caulking on any of the outlets. So virtually everything's going to leak. In this one length of trough, it would leak from 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 spots. Pretty pathetic.
This is just like, it's like sand. Total sand. Look at that. Just unbelievable. Look at this. No brick ties, nothing. Nothing. How do you get away with that? This is just ridiculous. I'm frustrated. You're damn right I'm frustrated. Why am I frustrated? Because I gotta come fix this crap. I've gotta beg, borrow, and steal from everyone out there to help me help the homeowners. That's why I'm pissed off. Man, I need some help. Oh, look at it. We got electrical lines in the back of this. That's just brilliant. But he still gets away with it. Because no matter what, he's not gonna pay for this. No matter what, even if the homeowners go after him, which they don't have a penny for a lawyer to go after him. I need some help. I need some people to step forward with me and say, hey, we're not gonna take this anymore. Shouldn't be allowed. We gotta make some laws that say you can't do this. Look at this crap. I can't believe this. When is it enough? When does it stop? Is it gonna be 10 years from now? Is it gonna be 20 years from now? How long are we gonna keep doing this where innocent people are being screwed? Look at the frickin' rot in this corner. Look at this, we got mold on the outside of this. Until there's some kind of law that says, hey, you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna go to jail. If you affect this family so bad and you've done something wrong, you go to jail. How do you build houses like this? I mean, I think he truly believes he's building a good home. Why? I mean, the evidence is there. He hires his own engineer to come in because he doesn't believe us. So he must think he knows what he's doing. Look at that. This was an old porch. No brick ties again. Just cover it up, right? Talk about cover up day in, day out. Is there anybody going around going, hey, you got your license on you? Imagine that. I can easily remove a wonderful, heavy stone wall with a crowbar. Nice and easy. Is anyone going around saying, hey, do you know what the hell you're doing? No. I'm heaving and breaking my butt all day, fixing crap after crap. And this guy continues. I'm out of here. Do you really get what you give? I believe it. What goes around comes around. There's one day he's gonna trip in his own pile of crap. That's what he's gonna do. And then he's gonna bang his head. Who's gonna pay to help them in court? fight this guy that thinks he has the right to ruin their lives. Thinks he has the right to kick them out on the street, like they're dogs. So here's where we're at. The job itself was a total of a $200,000 contract. Unfortunately, they paid $219,500 for the crap that we all looked at. The lien, total amount of the lien is $343,800 and change. If you look at that with 219 at 343, we're up in the 543,000. And all I know is it's one hell of a lot of money for something that had to come down. We'll start by pushing off all the sheeting. New skylight. After that, we'll start removing the trusses right across from back to the front of the house. Then we just start folding the walls in. And that way, we keep everything folding in towards the house, nothing out against the two houses beside us here. Bit by bit, we'll get down to the existing bungalow, bring in a tractor, pull it forward. It's a shame, really. We can't reuse the trusses. Everyone out there in the market says we need an engineer stamp, they need to inspect them. I'm gonna keep these guys because I'm building a big shed at home. These will be perfect. I'll reuse these. We're gonna cut these up and reuse them for something else. I hate wasting wood, but they're not going to the dump. Second floor is down. Just for safety's sakes, we're not gonna mess with this. We're just gonna push it off, allow it to hit the floor. We're gonna pick it up and carry it out of the way. I'm just gonna move this wall out of the way because we're gonna roll this beam off and pick it up by hand. All right, that's down. That was really easy. I like it easy. Nothing was holding it. Just sitting on that part there and this part here, and then everything was bricked around it. That's so if you think about it, the brick was locking it in. There's no real... Nobody tied it in, and it should have been tied in. That definitely should have been welded in place, and it's required by code. This probably weighs about 800 pounds, but when it hits that floor, it's gonna sound like about 10 ton. That's a heavy frickin' sledge. I love it. See that? Oh my God. That's frickin' brilliant. I just knocked out the upper that was tied into the beam, and if anything, that's what was holding it. Gotta love it.
You underneath it now?
No. Figure it out. We are here. Never should you be able to take apart stairs and landing in 60 seconds. Never. Not in my world. After this house, there'll be no surprises for me ever again. And it'll be a good thing to take it down. So we had brick directly on that wall right there?
Yeah, there was a lintel there, but not on this side. With the brick was sitting right on that piece of wood.
There was a whole lot of guesswork done here, wasn't there? Sure was.
We're waiting now to hear back. They haven't pulled back is the issue.
Yeah.
So it's still a holding lien. They're still pushing towards the court date because they haven't advised us that they want to settle or that they have decided to back off and let bygones be bygones or whatever.
Every single day we find something. Every day, look at this. This used to be the old door into the house. We can see the milk box that had no insulation whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it had some paperwork in there. How do you do that? No insulation, okay? Worse than that, this was the old door. It did go down further, so you can see that they bricked up. Well, what's holding all the cinder block here? This requires a steel lintel, okay, that is going to be as wide as this block, 6 inches on each side. But what do I see? One piece of rebar, only one. So let's put in the block like this, close it off, put in a window, and a small piece of rebar holding this. It's nowhere near minimum code, nothing. And you know what, I don't even like minimum code. This is not even close to minimum code. Not to mention the door jam's upside down. This is to help hold the door. Man, that's a toy.
This corner of the house is gonna come off. That way you have access to see these beams.
Okay.
Take these beams down, we're gonna play them off to the side. Take that floor off, stick it into the basement. We'll start filling off that 40.
Okay.
And then once all the garbage is removed, we're going to fill it up concrete. I'm gonna have dump trucks coming in later on this afternoon.
Nice. Maybe I get to drive that for a minute or something?
Sure, if you would like to.
Oh, there's a way to open up the floor. Just push it in. I just want to drive it. Awesome.
I had a little gulp, but now I'm okay. I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited.
It's being euthanized.
Yeah. We needed to put it out of its misery. It's true. It's helping.
You gotta love it. One out, one back in. No sooner is he picking this up, he's gonna drop it, and in it goes. So he's waiting for him. We're gonna have a more shallow bin for the concrete because it's really heavy. The wood is a lot lighter. It's never compact tight like the concrete or earth. By this time tomorrow, this will be a hole in the ground. Thursday, we'll be getting ready for the footings.
It's been the most surreal experience. Every time as we talk through this story, I think about one more thing and one more thing and one more. Like there was so much that happened, and yet we kept giving him the benefit of the doubt.
No. The friendship.
I really put a lot on that
friendship.
Nice to see you again, my dear. Joe,
we have really good memories of being in that house. It's, we did what we could
It
with
offsets
it.
the bad memories right now. But that's all we have now. It's just the memories of it.
Some pictures.
Yeah.
My heart is racing.
I don't know how we're ever gonna begin to repay Mike and everybody that's
helped us
in this project.
Yeah.
It's, you don't know what it means.
Isn't that nice not to see anything to do with it, to be honest with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes or no?
That monstrosity.
It is. It is, but it's gone. And, a memento of my floor tile. We lived here for a long time, and I liked that little bungalow. We just wanted a little more space, and, we were doing it, I thought, with some good thinking. So.
Seeing it gone now?
Still feels really good.
I feel a lot better.
Yeah, too many memories in it.
I hated looking at it.
Yeah.
Just hated it.
I hated what I saw and what he'd built. It's a hole in the ground. Right? I own a hole in the ground. Or we own. So, and this court case is not going away. So when that's away, I can really enjoy this.
Christina and Joe decided to put an addition on their home. Hired a contractor, $200,000 contract. 10 months into the project, we have a hole in the ground, so let's step back a bit. What did we do? We brought in an engineer. The engineer does an initial scout throughout the property, sees a ton of problems, gets to the point where we should investigate more. So we damn near got the whole house to really take a good look at what's right, what's wrong. I know it's all wrong. He comes up with a great report. We've got a lot of problems in this house. No footings, no insulation in not all the areas, in most of the areas. Vapor barrier missing in most of the areas. Steel lintel issues on top of sheeting and not structure, on and on and on. Okay, we bring in a cost consultant. Their job is to come in and estimate how much in value of the work that is done. How much is it gonna cost to fix it? So we're talking large money here. We're talking over $300,000 in the long run, he estimates, to fix the job. Then the contractor wants his own engineer. So his own engineer steps in and they start taking the place apart, digging holes under footings to prove there's no footings, digging the holes under the front of the house, the back of the house. They find even more wrong because we gave up. It's like, we know this place has got to come down. But this is his engineer. 10 months in, the lien's still there. $343,800 and change is still there. The fight is still going.
All right, let's be serious. If I'm going to build a house and I'm going to design a house that's better than anything else, we're going to make it green. It's going to be fireproof, waterproof, mold-proof. Let's think about it. Let's have a green roof. Let's make this home so efficient it stands for itself. Spend your money right, it'll last forever.
They had to shorten the house by about 4 feet. There wasn't a problem with the coverage or the square footage. The problem was with the zoning requirement for the length in the house. There's a maximum length you're allowed to go. Well, you said we're gonna lose about a foot in the bedroom here. We're losing maybe a foot in the ensuite. I think the garage is gonna stay the same, but they're gonna lose probably 2 feet in this the stairway width here.
I guess all in all, I'm gonna save just a little bit of money.
Yeah, a fair bit of concrete and...
But you know what, this is a prototype. I think we're gonna run into a lot of issues here that as we're building, this is a totally different home. This is not gonna be like just rocket science and throwing it up. It's gonna be a huge challenge. Oh, here's our form boards. All in one, no wood, don't have to take it out. Interior, exterior, weeping system, drainage. I don't know why nobody uses it.
We strongly believe in it. It'll do a better job. Everything can be used. Every little piece of it can be cut up and used and coupled together. It's lightweight, easy for the guys to handle.
Interior, exterior weeping system?
Exactly. You get a double weeping system. Where else do you get that? No one will.
You don't. And who wants to put in the inside? Builders are going to say, oh, that's going to cost you money. This is in the form. This makes it work. All the rebars here today. We're gonna take all this off with the Bobcat.
We'll get a set of drawings. It'll go to our estimating department. Find out the quantities, the exact weight of what is gonna go into this whole project. And then we have a shop which actually details, cuts, fabricates, does all the bar bends, bundles it up, on the truck it goes, off the site.
This is heavy-duty gauge when it comes to rebar. This is commercial grade. But let's remember something. We're building a concrete home here. That's a massive weight load. As soon as it's a concrete home, that now compares to industrial or commercial. So that weight load must be justified. Is it too much? Nothing to do with this house's minimum code requirement. Everything to do with it is on the maximum level. I'm trying to build a home that's 10 times better with theory of understanding why. Why are we building it 10 times better? So you never have to spend money in the future. Talk about a hellhole. This is a hellhole. We're about 3 weeks to 4 weeks late on the footings. We've had tremendous amounts of rain. Not all day, just that once. 2 hours straight rainfall. Now that this is washed sand back in, we got to dig this back out. It's supposed to be at least 16 inches deep. We're going to begin there with a garden shovel, digging it out, okay? To undisturbed soil once again. Day in, day out, that's the way this has been. We were supposed to pour 2 weeks ago. We were supposed to pour last week. We were supposed to pour today. It downfall this morning, and we're cleaning it up again. This is the foundation of everything we're building in this house. If this is not perfect, everything afterwards will not be perfect. This must be perfect. Once this is perfect, forms sit in place, this flies up, and away we go. I didn't say it was gonna be easy, but this is the most important part. And right now, Mother Nature is tempting my frickin' patience.